Welcome to In Your City Show. I'm Kelly Lamb,
I'm Gordon Montgomery.
and you have come to the hottest happy hour in STL. And we thought we'd start it off today. I have one made for our two guests as
Yeah.
well. So it's hot, it's summery. So I thought I would start introducing some summer cocktails here and there throughout. I mean, it is happy hour, so you can make this as a mocktail, or you can make it as a cocktail, whichever one
What's
you
the old
prefer.
joke?
What?
I'm as hot as Richard Simmons at a buffet. Remember, because he never eats, so he was like, never mind, you don't get it.
You know
Or
what?
I'm sweating like Richard Simmons at a buffet.
So
It's so hot.
recently, stars, Snoop Dogg, people don't exercise. What was the meme?
No,
What are
it's
the
about.
two rock star singers that are
I'm
still
beginning to
alive?
rethink this whole exercise thing when Richard Simmons has
Come
passed
here, let me
away.
brush you. You are on television. Come here.
What's
Come,
going
just
on?
lean in. Just quit sitting there so I can reach you. You know your collar's not really supposed to be up unless you
This
want
is
to
what
get
it's
the old
like. This
polo
is what
look.
it's like to be married or a 3-year-old.
One of the two, probably more like a 3-year-old.
So yeah,
Okay, so yeah, that they're beginning to
I'd
rethink
be
that
ready to
because
think
Richard Simmons gone.
my health tactics is like if Richard Simmons is gone and Keith Richards is still alive.
Probably we shouldn't exercise anymore.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to my cocktail
Back
or
to your cocktail.
mocktail if you want.
Okay.
I have made today, and I made it here, so and haven't tasted it, so we're hoping that it's good. But it's called a citrus basil breeze, and we'll have Ava add it to the In Your City Show Facebook. So we are on Facebook, right? So we're on Facebook today. You can go to In Your City
You know what?
Show.
Probably be a good idea if I checked it.
He's going to check to make sure he sees it. But of course, we're always streaming live on louinfo.com, L-O-U, louinfo.com. You can catch the show on Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you stream. And of course, we're on the radio at 590, so you can always tune in there. But so we'll post the actual recipe on the YouTube channel. There we are on the YouTube channel and on the In Your City Show Facebook. I'll make sure and put that on there in case you want to make it. So this one is a cocktail. This has 2 ounces of vodka, fresh lemon juice. It has 1 ounce of orange juice. So the lemon juice and the orange juice are the same. Then I added a half ounce of simple syrup. I actually took the actual mint leaves from
Our house.
our herb, my little herb that I have outside the door. Club soda, or you can use sparkling water. And then I put an ice cube in there, which is melting. And then I shaked it up in the shaker, and here we go. So Mike Baue, when he comes in for Soul Strings, excellent musician, and powerhouse Angel Magasano will be in here today. We'll be talking to her, find out what's going on with all the great things. There is hundreds and hundreds of women that belong to LBB. If you haven't heard of it, you'll definitely want to listen in. So do you want to taste it and see if it did well?
Yes.
Okay. So, of course, you have to say cheers. All right, here we go. Go ahead. Oh.
Cheers.
All right, here we go. That's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Yeah, that'll bring my personality back because I don't know where it is these days. All right, so we've got some celebrity scoop.
Celebrity
it's also
scoop.
super.
Why is she always in the celebrity scoop? Why are the both of them always in the celebrity scoop?
I don't know, but it's so hot outside that I also have. It's so hot.
Johnny Carson goes, well, it's so hot outside. And they go, how hot is it?
And how hot is it?
It's so hot that Mama Cass was selling shade. That's a joke from the 70s.
Okay, so you'd have to be from the 70s to know
No,
that.
Mama Cass was a big girl. She was selling shade.
Oh my God, that's mean.
And this is me every day explaining jokes to Cal.
It's really hot outside, so we have 10 cool ways to beat the summer heat. I am not going to forget my word of the day. I love these words of the days because, you know, I would say I speak pretty basic, right? So when I've got a cool word that probably nobody uses, but it means something daily, I want to share it. And I keep forgetting all the time. So I'm going to definitely make sure to do that. Also, did you know that the St. Louis Blues has their new uniform? So we're also going to show you what that is. Oh, are you going to go ahead and let the cat out of the bag?
Oh, no.
Might as well. Go right ahead.
No, I don't think it's ready.
It's not ready?
No, I'll have to bring it back up. So go ahead.
Okay. So St. Louis Blues, the release just came out. They unveiled the new primary uniforms, and we'll show you those in a little while too. So maybe you can be the first to know about them and be able to see them. So how's your day been going?
My day has been hectic. Real estate,
people are crazy.
I don't think you can ever have a real estate deal that goes exactly perfect.
I
There's
don't think
always got to
anything goes perfect, does
there's
it?
always got to be something. There's always got to be something that goes south, or something that you have to go back. And I think I understand why real estate agents drink a lot, because it's like nothing
Hence the drinks on the show.
ever,
Yeah.
well, I'm just, yeah.
Luckily, you're not focused on real estate every day like most people. You're doing a few deals a month because got pom pom on, because it can be hectic. But of course, dealing every day with the magazines, which sometimes we kind of forget to
Tell everybody
share
about our
these
amazing
incredible.
publications.
Yeah, so every single month we have a new magazine that comes out, and it goes to 45,000 homes. We have the Chesterfield, which Dave Glover is on for the men's issue. Of course, who doesn't know Jackie Joyner Kersey? She was our women's issue. And then Carbon, which we've talked about before. This is the chef, Gianni Colucci, incredible chef at the members only club restaurant Carbon. And then if you have not been to Yuppie Puppy in St. Charles, you're missing out. This is the owner, Jessica, and this is Bella, who actually had spots painted on her for our photo shoot for the cover here. But inside, it's a lifestyle publication. So inside are stories about people locally. Sometimes it's destinations. There's so many great stories. And then of course the advertisers that are in here, they're sponsoring community, being part of this magazine, because we showcase things around St. Louis and more. And because of the advertisers, that's how these get everyone. So we want to thank them very
Gives
much
us
for
an
being part.
amazing platform to tell stories like Grace Strobel, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah, Grace Strobel is a young girl. Gosh, she's 22 now, I think. When we met her, she was 16. We were actually doing our radio show at this station. It was the She Said, He Said show. And Grace came in. I'd read a post on Facebook that she wanted to be a model, and she has Down syndrome. And so I ended up finding her mom, got it okayed. Her mom brought her into the studio, and we asked her what she wanted most. First was to be a model. Second was to kiss a boy. Remember how cute that was?
Oh, she's quite excelled that.
Yes, she has. So
In fact, I don't even know how many she has. I should probably look her up and see how many Facebook or Instagram followers she has now, because it was like over 300,000 at one point.
Right. So we did a photo shoot with her back in 19, for Valentine, for February issue.
I think I can find
it. Was unbelievable. It was the most gorgeous photos. We did a story on her. We put her on the front cover. She has been in so many fashion shows. She speaks about her Down syndrome. So when she goes to school, she'll have the children put mitts on their hands and then try to tie their shoes so they can experience, because she was made fun of and she was bullied. And what's so sad is kids, they don't understand always. And they don't understand what she goes through as a human being, trying to do things that we do normally, with having Down syndrome. So she'd put mitts on the kids, have them try to tie their shoes. And then, the half balls that you get onto a gym and you try to balance.
What are those things called? Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a half ball. So she has the kids stand on those, because that's what balance is like for her. She gets up every day. She runs. She's Grace Strobel is her name. If you want to find her on Facebook or Instagram and follow her and see the amazing growth that this young woman has had.
325,000 followers on Instagram.
And that's just Instagram. She has Facebook as well, and she's on TikTok.
She's worked with Kendrick Scott, Veronica Beard.
Yeah, she's the face of Obagi, which, if you don't know, that is a very popular skincare line, and she keeps growing from there. Actually, she is in the History Museum. She was featured in the History Museum. They put a couple of her outfits that she wore, because she's like one of the the first big models that really come along. The biggest thing, the most fun for us, was she was on the cover of our magazine, and the Today Show picked her up, brought her to New York, and she got to be on with Hoda, who's now retired. And cover of our magazine with Grace on it was up there front and center, on the story that they did on her. So that was a lot of fun, but incredible young lady. So that's just one of the many stories that we have placed in our magazine that has done great things. So that's the blessing from it, is things like that and the people that we meet.
So another store has bitten the dust and going to all online except for their outlet stores.
Who's that?
Nordstrom is closing its doors at the Galleria on August the 24th. Yep.
That's the whole That's the whole thing of shopping at Nordstrom is the experience.
The
What
experience, yeah.
that is so wrong.
Not,
There
not
won't
it's
be
not it's not Neiman Marcus and it's not Saks Avenue, but it's Nordstrom. Yeah. Now
still
they have the
Nordstrom
Nord.
is
Do you here?
Nordstrom is awesome.
So Nordstrom,
And
they
they have
have
the
Nordstrom
restaurant.
Rack, right?
I love that store.
Do you think maybe here's what I want to ask. Now I know online really hurts the stores,
Sure.
the online being able to
The
buy
Amazon
online.
that I have show up at the
Do
door
you
every
think
day.
do you think though that also the Nordstrom racks, because people aren't going to Nordstrom, they're going to the racks to buy stuff because they're waiting for it to just leave Nordstrom and come to the rack where it's a little
No,
discounted.
I think that people have just gotten lazy. They don't want to wait in lines. They don't want to park. They don't maybe want the experience. I don't know. I'm shocked at that. So there won't be any more Nordstrom stores or just the
Just
Galleria
the
is closing its
Galleria,
door.
just the Galleria is closing its doors.
That's a shame. Because it's a beautiful store and that, I love the shoe department there.
Oh,
In fact, my
yeah.
my tennis shoes that I have on are from the Nordstrom, which look at I showed you the bottom of them, so that was nice and dirty. But yeah, I bought these shoes there actually. I mean, they have some great sales too, when they on their shoe department when the season changes. Well, I mean, to be honest, I haven't had time to shop, but I haven't been there in a while. I actually haven't walked in the Galleria in quite some
Yes.
time. Any mall for that
Uh,
fact right now.
So what is West County Mall? What is that? Is that
That's where Nordstrom is West County Mall.
no? This one's the Galleria.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
Okay.
so the West County Mall is still going to be there,
Oh,
but
okay. I'm happy again. I'm
because
good. All
well,
good.
I couldn't remember because Nordstrom has a really nice little cafe too
That's what I just
upstairs.
said. The
Yeah,
restaurant. You
but
don't listen to
I
me.
do, but I'm just that's what made me think. Wait a minute, the West County Mall is still
See,
open.
this is another reason what it's like to be married. They never listen to you. I just talked about the cafe that I would miss that. I like the restaurant in Neiman and Marcus.
Yes,
Their cookies are
the
delicious.
cookies are delicious.
And so is their food. All right, so do you want to do you want to share some scoop that's going on, or and
Go
talk about
ahead.
the hot summer before we've got Mike Baue, who is a fabulous, incredible
The guy,
musician,
it's unbelievable musician, uh,
entrepreneur.
entrepreneur, flies a plane, plays in all these rock bands.
What a show off!
He is a show off. We're going to have to talk to him
What
about
a
that. He's
show
not
off!
showing off, but and still maintaining a great uh, faith-based lifestyle, which I love as well. Which is hard to do with all those hats. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you being a rock and roller your whole life. Gordon does not have a single tattoo,
We've brought
and
this
you're not a
up
drug
before.
addict.
No, no.
A lot of them are. So when you lucked out in a couple areas, though nothing's wrong with a tattoo. I mean, I have a couple 3 tattoos.
Yeah.
But for a guy to be a rock and roller and never had a tattoo, which was funny, Mike Nisi, he looks like he'd be loaded with tattoos, and he didn't have one
So
either.
we'll have to ask Mike Baue.
We'll find out if Mike, for some reason, I think Mike's going to have a tattoo.
Mike's got
Let's
a
make a
little.
bet.
Oh, I'm
Is
going to say
Mike
yes.
Bowie going to have a
Mike's got a
tattoo?
little wild side to him.
We're going to see if he has a tattoo or not. Okay, so we do have a question of the day. Speaking of music, of course, what is a song? What is one of your favorite songs? When you hear it, it just brings back memory. So if you're on luinfo.com and you want to let us know what your favorite song is that brings back memories, let us know. Or if you're watching on In Your City Show on Facebook, let us know what your favorite song is. There that one song that just when you hear it, it just brings back memories?
There's so many.
There is, but you know how there's that one favorite.
Brings back memories. I would have to say, yeah, I would have to say probably Kansas,
I knew you were going to
Dust
say
in the
that.
Wind.
I knew you were going to say that.
That or believe it or not, Summer Breeze.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good song. Okay, all right. All right, so I'll give you in a little scoop.
Well, you didn't tell me yours.
Oh, I don't know what it is. I think it depends on the age, but I would think for some reason Bachman Turner Overdrive.
They're coming.
I feel like I'm
gotta
back
see
in
it.
high school when I hear that song. Super Tramp.
Oh,
Super
yeah.
brings back memories of that those younger times cheerleading. We'd get back to the school, we'd have a cooler in our trunk and we would head to a field. Nobody had phones, but yet we knew where the party was and we managed to get there. Those were the good old days.
Those were the good old days.
Now I have a phone and I still don't know where I'm going, and I can't find my way through a
Check this out. So Kelly has a phone and she has maps. She has Google Maps, which tells
okay.
her But
What are
there's
you
still
getting at?
times that I have to get on Life 360 and tell her where to turn and where to go. I still have to go, where are you? And she'll go, I don't know. I don't know where I am.
I am
And she
busy.
gets that, she literally gets that honestly from her mother. But I have to get on Life 360, find where she is, and go, you need to turn right here, the
Well,
next street. I need to follow
okay,
her. I
so
gotta follow her.
in all honesty, sometimes that MapQuest doesn't work. It like you're going back and forth in front of someone, like, where the heck is it? It kind of can mess up too.
Now, it did that to me the other day because somebody said, especially when you get on north and south type of roads.
Okay.
So I had a meeting with a client, right? Well, he had accidentally put in North New Balance instead of South New Balance.
Oh,
It's the same
yeah.
way with North Lindbergh and South Lindbergh.
Total
If you're
difference.
not used to St. Louis, I'll never forget the first time that I grew up in Illinois. I was in high school, and somebody wanted me to meet them, I think in South County at Bogarts or something. And I got on, and it took me to North County, Lindbergh. I was
Really?
over in Florissant, which let me forget this. We gotta talk about Florissant today.
Okay.
But I was in
You want me to remember?
yeah, I was in North County, and I was like, well, it's on Lindbergh somewhere. So I went south on Lindbergh from Florissant. Well, that takes a while to take
Yeah.
that jaunt.
Limburg, I feel like you just go into other states. It's so
That jaunt
long.
was like forever. But anyway, go ahead.
So have you heard of the song Galveston by Glenn Campbell?
Yes.
Okay, well, Claire Alexander, she says Galveston by Glenn Campbell. Texas was the first state my family lived after arriving from England. Wow, it was a very popular song. So that takes her back when she hears that. And then Angel will be coming on here a little while, and we'll let her. She posted on here, and we'll let her say what hers is, and we'll mention some other ones as we go along. So we're at 4:22. We've got Mike Baue coming up here just shortly. But are you a Taylor Swift or are you a Travis Kelce fan? Are you either fan?
You know,
Are you sick of Travis because of
I'm
Taylor or vice versa?
ain't nobody got no time for that. That's what I am right now with those two. It's like
Well, at
I'm
first
to the
their love
point to where
affair was like booming. It was like the cheerleader and the football player got together and it was cool. And then it was kind of like I could count every time, the football game. It was like, here we go back to Taylor again. I mean, she
and I
brought
see
them a
where you're going.
lot of money.
I see where you're going with this, but this is where it gets a little ridiculous.
Which part?
Well, go ahead and say what you're going to say.
Well, they were spotted enjoying romantic dinner
Oh my gosh, I'm sure
in
they get spotted
Manhattan.
every night. Who
They-
cares?
well, it's sparking buzz because they think maybe wedding rumors are
They say
surfacing.
that every time they see him out in the restaurant.
I kind of think they are taking a little bit too long to get married, don't you? I mean, they're young. If they want to have babies, don't you want babies?
Gosh, those kids are going to be tall.
Those kids are they're going to be big kids. But I think I really
They're going to
think
come
they're
out
going to
looking like
make
her
it.
with a mustache.
Gosh, I think those two are going to stay together. I think she found her match.
Yeah, he's just that level above her of cray cray to make her
A
interested.
little cray cray. He's also he's sports driven, but he's kind of a chick in a guy's body like you too.
Yeah, but
Oh.
have you seen his clothes?
That's what I meant. They're pretty crazy, like a chick in a guy's
Oh,
body
yeah.
kind of thing. So we'll see what goes there. Did you know Brad Pitt was going to AA?
No, I had no idea.
Do you care?
You know
That's the
what?
thing. Do you
If
care?
it's if it's a problem for him, I want him to get better.
I mean, he's an excellent actor. I can't wait to see his new movie. What's the name of the movie? He's a race car driver. That's going to be a cool
Yeah,
movie. Comes out, I
F1,
think, July, isn't it?
F1 Formula. Yeah,
F1, it's what it's
yeah.
called. Yeah, I think it looks like a really good movie. But yeah, he's been attending Alcoholic Anonymous since the divorce, which if we're saying since the divorce, that's Angelina Jolie. She was my girl crush a long time ago.
See, I never was.
Do you have a guy crush ever?
No, and if I did, I wouldn't admit it.
So now we know he's lying.
Do I have like?
Don't you have somebody that you think's like? I don't think that anymore. I think she's like gone crazy. Charlize Theron, that's my new girl crush.
I've never really had a guy crush. I've had envy, like hair envy of like certain
Hair envy.
actors.
Why would he have hair
John
envy?
Stamos. I mean, come on, that hair. Who doesn't want hair like that, right?
It is
Yeah.
a lot of good hair. Well, we got some more scoop. We've got a lot of good things coming up. But right now, we're going to take it to break because we want to bring Mike Baue into the studio. And Gordon happened to bring his one of the guitars from the house, so we're hoping we can get him to. Did you tune it, by the way?
Did I tune it?
He's probably going to check that during the commercial
You know
break
what? I think
because the commercials are the reason why we get to be on air. So I hope
Right.
you're tuning in. Again, luinfo.com on demand, streaming 24/7. Of course, we're on the Facebook channel for In Your City show right now as well. So keep tuning in. We'll be right back with more fun right here on the In Your City show, hottest happy hour in STL. Hi. I thought you're
On what? On the mic?
please.
Hello? Yeah, I got that.
Come on in, Mike. How do you turn the volume up, Mike?
I can turn it off. Hold on.
How are you?
Pretty good.
You.
Yeah.
Just real quick, make sure it's tuned.
Player, yeah.
Yep. That's why I tried to use it. Make sure. You're right. We'll let you warm up, talk a little bit.
I'm not much of a jammer on guitar.
Oh, stop it.
Oh,
You're just being a joker. Go get a big plate. While he's holding the guitar. You do a little video and then she'll take a picture. Were you able to do that? Oh my God, how'd you find it? Or even find the email, that's amazing. That's crazy. Oh my God. All right, so, no, did you get a picture? Get a picture, we'll get a picture of three of us.
yeah.
Now,
So we did it.
Hi, a little different. No chair thing. Hi. Welcome back to In Your City Show right here on luinfo.com and at KLIS 590, streaming 24 Apple, Spotify, and everywhere that you stream. It's that time. I got two musicians in the house. Well, lead singer, great musician, but he never gets up on stage and plays a musical instrument for some reason, but an incredible singer. And we've got Mike Baue, who's just an incredible musician. Mike, do you sing?
I do sing. I'm a guitar player who sings, unlike Gordon, who's an actual singer.
He really sings. So
And I'm a singer that plays guitar, unlike Mike, who can actually play.
play the guitar. So it is Soul
Isn't that so
Strings.
true?
Every Tuesday, it's Soul Strings, and that's where we bring the music and the soul into the studio. This is one of Gordon's dream things that he's been wanting to do, and so here we go. So I'm going to let you, dive in with
Here we
Mike
go,
and,
Mr.
and
Mike
have
Baue.
have a good time. But I do have a little game. And I'm going to put you two against each other, and a little rapid fire for you in a little bit as well. So I'll watch the time and I'll chime in when necessary.
Well, as we get in, Mike, me and you've known each other for quite some time. We go way back to the old Stages days.
Oh my, yes. If you're listening, I'm really sorry that you were there too, but we were there too.
Can I make sure before you get into Stages that we do have Mike? Mike, you have a Citral Basil Breeze next to you. That is your cocktail for the
This is
show.
mine?
Yep, this is happy hour.
We
So
have
I
it.
made that especially for you. So let's
Cheers.
cheers and make
Get
this
to
a
it.
celebration. Cheers to everybody who's tuning in and listening. Awkward silence as we drink, and let's go.
That's fabulous.
Do you like it?
That is
refreshing.
right. And
I'm going to be putting the
fresh.
recipe up on the In Your City Show page on Facebook so that
fantastic.
people can make it.
So let's take it back a little bit. So we're going back to the Stages days.
Right.
So before Stages, though, what was it that made you say, I want to play music?
I had a friend in 3rd grade whose parents made him play guitar, and he hated it. And I would be over at his house and they would say, okay, you have to go practice. And I would just go do something else for a half hour while he practiced. I thought that was the coolest thing in the world, and he hated it. And then I just kept asking my parents for a guitar, and one day they gave me one, and I taught myself how to play. But I just thought he was the coolest guy in the world.
Yeah.
And he hated it.
All musicians.
So
with
did
the girls.
you take lessons early on?
I didn't know.
Did you teach yourself?
Yeah.
Really?
I had my Ted Nugent record, and I had my guitar, and I would just move the needle back and I would try to pick the notes out. And my entire grade school, junior high, high school was just picking up stuff off records and cassettes. Yeah.
I find that incredible. I can't ever get over the fact of, so I can't, you doing that is just astonishing. I mean, to think, I love that when he will pick up the guitar, hear a song and start playing. It's like, how do you do that?
You just
That's
find the
amazing.
sound.
Yeah.
No, you don't just find the sound.
You do. You start moving your fingers till something
No,
matches.
that's a gift. That's a gift.
Yeah, it's like
That's an
it's like-
actual
it's-
gift.
It's like this. It's like, okay, that's not it.
Yeah.
That's not it. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you do.
Until it becomes what, Mike? Show us until what it
Yeah,
becomes
let's see
what.
what it
Oh, and then
becomes.
it becomes, strumming. And then
See?
stuff like that,
Isn't it
right?
awesome? Yeah.
That's great. We're gonna have to have more of that.
So, I just loved it. I love the notes. I love the sounds. I love the melodies. I love all it. And, like anything else, it's like any other thing people do. Kelly, it's if you love boating, man, and you're just passionate about it, and you learn the river. If you love whatever, writing, and you just keep writing and you get better at it. It's just any other thing. It's a gift, and then you refine it and you hone it in, right? I mean, think
For some
about
of
things
you.
that, well, think about things that you've done in your life that you just, man, I love it. I'm going to figure this out.
Well, I
right?
was a horseback rider.
Right.
That's something I can do.
But you went to school for what? Journalism?
Communications. I know how to talk.
Yeah. And
Not always
you get
that
better.
great either.
You're good at it.
You're better at it.
But that amazes me. Music, people that can do that, or truly, it's
And
a gift.
I'm such a fan of good musicians too. I just feel like, man, when I'm on stage with great people, and you know what's interesting is I realize this. I'm 57 years old. Just the other day, I realized this after all these years of playing music. I love playing music when I'm playing music with other people more than anything. You think about acoustic guitar players doing the solo acts and stuff. I can never do that. I get joy out of sharing the gift and receiving the gift from other people. I like the band, the ensemble, the group, the togetherness.
Pumps you up.
And you can become a fan of that sound. Like while you're making it, you can be a fan of it at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So we both had hair back then.
I'm wearing a hat because I needed a haircut today. What little I have.
We both had hair.
A lot of it.
So you had
You had the long hair too?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Isn't your hair curly?
It was wavy naturally,
Yeah.
and I had stock in Final Net.
Well, your kids have they have the wavy hair, so they got your hair.
Mhm.
Did you have the extra hold or extra super hold or
The-
extra concrete hold?
Extra super duper construction
Whatever was
glue.
your cheapest at
I was
the
using-
drugstore, right?
Yeah, construction glue.
And I think that's the
I do.
cause. We need to file a lawsuit against Aquanet for the loss of our hair. I'm sure we clogged some pores back then.
I'm sure we did.
So right now you're playing in a lot of bands. We're going to talk about music for a little bit, and then we're going to transition a little bit. But you play in a lot of bands right now. So the one you just got done with was with Terry Luttrell.
Well, I'm still with that. That's really the primary thing now.
Right.
I play at church. Those are the two primary music outlets for me. But playing with Terry Luttrell has been a great joy. It's led to some cool stuff.
Is it right next to you?
Oh,
The
yeah.
album.
Oh, cool! You have the record.
Yeah.
So yeah, we made this record in end of 23. And well, Terry Luttrell, if you don't know, is the original singer of REO Speedwagon. He did the first album, the Fire Truck album, and they had a few hits, but he left the band after that. And then Mike Murphy came in, and then ultimately Kevin Cronin. And so when I had an opportunity through Mike Macy, which has been on your show,
Yep.
he asked me if I wanted to do this with Terry, and it was one of those. Okay, let me think about it. Yes. Heck yeah. So we were in.
Yes.
And then, of course, we just did the show with REO Speedwagon, which was a lot of fun.
So how did you
Pictures
meet?
look great.
How did you hook up with Mike?
I've just known Mike forever, from Pops, really, and just from the stages and just being in bands. And I knew he was with Head East and Chuck Berry. And then I was in a band years ago called Just Mister
I remember that.
with Tony and Gracia. And Mike would come, I remember playing Pops. You start at 10:30 and then you quit at 5 in the morning. So everybody would come after their gig.
Nobody had a day job.
No. Well, actually, I got one during that time, and I used to leave Pops and go to my office and sleep under the desk and then work all day. But
My God.
Mike would come, true story, under the desk. Mike would come and sit in, and that's how I got to know him. And just a wonderful prince of a man. And I've known him forever.
Yeah.
And we all know each other in the community, the music community. So we all know this guy's great for this project. This guy's great for that. So that's how that all came together.
So you've been in. Weren't you in the Kansas band too?
I was in Portrait
Tribute? Yeah.
with Jim Comparato, a bunch of great guys. Tony and Gracie sang. That was a dream come true to play in that big ensemble.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites.
And then when that ended, I didn't do much for a bit. And then the REO Classics thing came up, which was a dream come true also, because I grew up. A lot of the times I spent as a kid with the REO Speedwagon albums with Gary Richrath, who's like, if there's 5 most underrated guitar players in history, Gary's one of them. So that's what I spent my time learning. So when the call came to do this, I was like, oh yeah, heck yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah, right.
I got this.
So how was that for you, being able to never take his place, of course, but be able to sit in to play?
It's such a joy because his playing resonated with me, right? Whenever you're able to do something, like my whole life, his style resonated with me. And not just his, but others too. But when you're able to do those things, it tied me to my youth, it tied me to childhood, it tied me to those passionate times trying to figure things out, not just music, but life, right? It's all tied together.
Was it surreal to be up on stage, being there with REO Speedwagon, who you listened to as a kid? Now you're on stage and you're playing in the band that one of your guitar idols was playing, and you're playing the leads that he played.
Yeah.
And you're in where it all started. Was that surreal for you?
It was.
And a moment on stage where you were just kind of like, wow.
I had goosebumps. You see people like, Bruce Hall, the bass player, with the long, Alan Gratzer, the drummer, Neil, the keyboard player. These guys were part of my youth.
Right.
You remember when High Infidelity came out?
Yeah.
You can tune a piano when you can't tune a fish.
Yeah.
That was that age, right? That was real formative years for me.
Like Kevin Cronin.
With
Yeah.
Kevin Cronin, right? So, but walking up on stage and being on stage with these guys that I idolized back then, yes, it was awesome. Yes, I savored every moment of it. And you want to know what the coolest things was from the show 2 weekends ago? I don't know who did the video, but they had 3 like jumbotrons there. And I just saw last night a video of us doing Anti-Establishment Man, which was one of Terry's songs from the first album. And they had it timed out. So when the solo came up, Gary came up on the Jumbotron
I
behind
saw
me
that picture today.
playing the solo
Yeah.
while I was playing the solo.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, isn't that so
Yeah.
cool?
Wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it was really cool. I mean, I've done some big shows before, but this is cool.
That was
Real
really
special.
So let's talk about you. You're an entrepreneur in so many ways. So you've got Osteo Strong,
Mhm.
and now you have Snooze Mattress.
Snooze Mattress Company, yeah.
So
how do you go from this rock guitarist to wearing jammies?
Yeah.
You're kind of taking yourself a little bit into
Like a
another
koala bear.
So
a koala bear and jammies.
I brought you guys some gifts.
Oh, fun.
I have
Right.
a Serta sheep.
Oh, a little lamb for a lamb, a
That-
Kelly lamb.
So when Kelly can't sleep, I'm just gonna go.
Just whack
Start
on
out.
it. And then of course the sleep mask for the both of you. I've got the
I love it. I need to feel
Snooze
him.
sleep mask for both of you.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
You know, I can shade out the light in the room. Let's go and try these on. All right,
There you go.
how are we doing right now?
Snooze Mattress.
I can't see anything though.
Snooze
It's
mattress.
kind of weird.
But to answer your question, I wasn't, and you know, I'm not really a true entrepreneur. I
But
am it to some degree, but you know, an entrepreneur really by definition is someone who's going to build something and is willing to let it go, right, and move on to the next thing. My companies are set up so they're going to last in perpetuity without me. I don't want to sell them. My son Patrick is coming up and kind of running things.
Yeah.
I'm teaching
He
him.
looks like he enjoys it.
He loves it. But I'm more of an artist, being a musician. So to me, building a company is a lot like writing a song, right?
I get it.
You don't know what it's going to be. I am a risk taker to some degree.
Me too.
That's where the
But
flying a plane
I
comes
wasn't
in.
Flying a plane.
I wasn't a risk taker when I was broke. I got to tell you though, you know, when you're broke, you know, it's like you gotta struggle. But yeah, I love the variety. I require variety, and I know you guys do
I think
too.
that's why the magazine has been. I understand when you said, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love creating. The show's always new. The magazine is always new because I love the creating, but I don't want the long haul doing the same thing every day. That
No,
makes
I
me
can't.
crazy. I
can't
so
do that.
get it.
So in the business world, you know, being able to, you know, owning these businesses, I don't really work in them every day.
You're creating them.
I hire great people, and my role is to love and bless them and build them, right?
Mhm.
And as a pastor, that's what I truly love. Everything that I do, I look at it as a ministry. And all avenues of my life are an opportunity for ministry. And I fail constantly. I mess things up constantly.
Me
We
too.
all
What?
do.
I look at it as, how can I love and bless the community? How can I bring great people in? How can I uplift them and train them, right? So I just love variety. I love playing music. To me, I just have one life, and it's all part of the same thing. It's just a stew, you know? And maybe you need to add this ingredient. Well, I don't know
Need
what
more
the next
spices.
yeah, and I don't know what the next ingredient's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for God
That's
to
what
bring
makes
it.
that's what makes it exciting
Right.
is when something new comes along. But I think you having that attitude probably opens that door
It
always
does.
for that new blessing.
You're willing for the new stuff, right? Flying planes, you mentioned that.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like that's not an easy task. And not only that, you've got to learn to fly the plane. You can't
There's
just
a lot
get
of
in a
study.
plane and just take off. You've got to learn, and that takes time and that takes discipline.
It does.
And everything you've done in life has taken time. It's taken discipline. It's taken faith.
A lot of faith.
A lot of faith.
A lot of faith.
So how is all of this tied in together to?
Well, I know now I can only speak in retrospect, right? I can only speak of, like, looking back at life from the lens that I have now was different than I did 20 years ago.
Right.
20 years ago, I was struggling with new, having a family and trying to, have some security and making
Kids
a
are
way,
younger.
right?
You got to spend more time with them when they're younger.
But now looking back, it's like, wow, I see how everything was orchestrated for God's benefit and for God's glory and my benefit, right? So even like you ask about flying a plane. Well, the only reason I fly planes is because of COVID. We shut the business down during COVID, and
That's right. Yeah.
and then I had
Tough
some time
business
on
to
my
have
hands.
open during COVID.
Yeah, OsteoStrong, like no one's coming, And at the time, I owned a real estate holding company too, which I've since sold. But we were able to sustain, and through that fall, we reopened, but things were slow. And I'm sitting in my office, literally at my computer, just scanning, and across comes this Groupon for
The fly.
for a discovery flight.
Yeah.
What a discovery flight is, it's the flight school's funnel, right? Get them in a plane and show them how fun it is. Well, I already knew that as a businessman. I'm like, okay, so I'll pay your discounted Groupon price, and I'm going to go up and see some, fly over the river with my instructor, take some pictures. It's one and done, and I'm out. But what happened was I got paired up with Jim Frankie, amazing guy, amazing pilot, who's now flying for the airlines. He was a nurse for 20 years, but had a passion for flying. His passion jumped onto me, and we flew this discovery flight. And as we're landing, we're coming in on final, and it was such a beautiful day. And guys, we didn't go down to the ground. The ground came up to us. It was, there was just no difference between sky and ground. It was a gorgeous landing, a gorgeous flight. And we landed, we taxied back up, and I signed up for lessons and started taking lessons. And 3 months later, I bought an airplane, and
Oh my gosh.
and here we are.
I took 2 lessons and kissed the ground when they let me land the second time I was up. I'm like, you cannot, I've only flown one other, this is my second
You in
time.
a boat with me?
And you want to land there, and you're putting your life in your own hands. Of course, he had the titles doing that. But
Right. They're helping.
I'm not
Yeah.
flustered just thinking about doing that.
Yeah. And, I don't like
I didn't
heights. Like,
finish,
I don't like getting on my roof. But in an airplane, you're in a seat. It's just different for me.
Very quiet too. It's a really surreal feeling being up
And
there.
that's how I fly. So flying to me is no different than riding my motorcycle, being out on a trail somewhere, hiking, just playing guitars. It's the same.
It's a little different.
It's not.
If you're in a car or a bike, you can pull over. If something's not going right.
You're very close to the ground.
But it's the same. Like, I treat flying the same as I do. Like, when I just,
Serotonin level that you
Yeah,
reach. It's
right.
a
I like to go up, and I
feed your
literally,
soul.
I mostly just fly around within an hour or so of St. Louis. I just love being.
Amazing way to see God's creation too.
It is. And, just like, you can see everything from up there, and it's beautiful.
And everything seems so small and insignificant.
There's
from up
so
there.
much stuff in St. Charles County, St. Louis County, that you'd never see unless you're 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 feet in the air. It's just different. And I love that. And it's peaceful. And I mostly fly by myself just because, I'll put the radio on. I can make phone calls from my plane. It just, it's like I want to call somebody.
You're not supposed to drive a car and be on the phone, so you're flying a plane.
Yeah, but he doesn't have anybody stopping and putting on the brakes in front of him.
Excellent.
I'm not waiting at stop signs. There's nowhere to pull.
Right here was coming up behind me on the road, and oh my gosh, he was 1 centimeter from running into his own wife on the back of the car. I'm watching him. He's not paying attention. Obviously, I'm like, my own husband's going to run into the back of
Do you
me.
remember the Brady Bunch episode where Greg hits the
Yes.
cone with the egg?
Yes,
That was you.
it was. It was.
And I think
had a
Mark
friend of
and Lauren
mine
are
who
jammed one.
I actually had a friend of mine who husband and wife both ran into each other.
Oh.
Well, you almost did it.
But all those things really tie into the fact that at some point in life, and you guys have experienced it too, at some point in life, you want to do things that bring you joy and that
Right.
bring other people,
Of course.
right? And it's not so much about, I don't know, it's just, I love exploring God's creation.
Yeah, and that's a great way to do it.
Beautiful.
me and you share a lot of the same with faith and everything. What is give me a scripture that keeps you grounded? This should be pretty easy for you.
Well, I
Maybe
mean,
it won't be because you've got so many going through your
well,
head.
there's a lot, the biggest one is really one of the biggest ones. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, so that whosoever believeth may not perish but have everlasting life. I look at God as my dad, and he offered a sacrifice of his own Son so that I can have eternal life. That, like, to me, that's the most powerful. And there's others that I rely on in business, and but to me, it's for God so loved the world. Like, he created us, and we're created in his image, and therefore we're creative. And that's another thing, right? If we're created in God's image, and he's the most creative entity that's ever been, well, we're creative too.
Yeah, absolutely. I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. All right, we're gonna play a little game.
Oh, I hate
Okay.
trivia. I hope it's
First
not
of all, it's a
trivia.
little rapid fire for you. First, what's the song that when you hear it, it just brings back memories? It's just one of those that's just
There's a lot, but I have to
right.
tell you,
So
because I just did the show with REO, it's Time for Me to Fly.
that one doesn't.
And the other one's Golden Country. That one hits.
That's one of my favorites. I just love the grinding of the Hammond B3 organ. That dun, dun, dun.
right.
Oh
It's
my
so
it
powerful,
just
man.
like digs in me, especially when I crank it up.
But then there's always like the, Sinatra, that's
Yeah, that brings back a whole different. I
there's
think of
just,
my grandparents when I hear songs like that. They take me back to childhood.
you want to know one song there's one song that makes me cry every time I hear it. It's Dolly Parton, Coat of Many Colors.
Really?
I weep like a baby when I hear that song.
All right, little baby. What's the first guitar you ever owned?
First guitar was just a no-name cheap acoustic. I don't know. It was just
You like Fender or Gibson?
both.
Okay.
I have to
Favorite
do both.
guitar solo ever?
The Wall, Pink Floyd.
Okay. Most underrated guitarist?
Gary Richrath.
And first concert you ever attended?
Boston, 1986, Checker Dome. I was in the pot seats.
The pot seats.
That's great. So you were on, best rock album of all time.
Meatloaf, Bad Out of Hell.
That is a great one. Okay, guys, it's going to be between the two of you. Which band goes with this song? Smoke on the Water.
Deep Purple.
Oh, Gordon got it. Sweet Child O' Mine.
Guns N' Roses.
I'll give you a tie.
Tie.
Sunshine of Your Love.
Cream.
Tie. Very good. Seven Nation Army.
What are they called? Oh, I just listened to that the other day.
What color are the stripes?
Aren't they
The
white?
White Stripes.
There you go.
White Stripes.
Give you a little hint. Smells like Teen Spirit.
Nirvana.
Oh, you guys are trying it. Layla.
Derek and the Domino.
Oh my gosh.
Got it.
I was gonna, yeah.
Day Tripper.
Beatles.
I got it. Iron Man.
Black Sabbath.
Jordan. Hotel California.
Beatles.
Oh, hi. Johnny Be Good. Chuck
Berry.
You had to start going. Well, there you go. You guys
So
both
Johnny
did
B.
great.
Good, I was thinking Back to the Future.
So we have a few minutes. We need to hear you. What would be something you'd want to play for us? Give us a little
Give
tune.
a song real quick that's on repeat for you right now. What's the one song that's on repeat lately?
What does that mean?
That means you're constantly
One of my
playing.
favorite
Oh,
songs
we
to
just-
play is that
Oh.
right?
Dustin Away.
You should have coordinated this, and then you could start singing. Do you know the words?
I don't ever remember the lyrics to anything.
But that's one of my favorite to play.
Oh, that's all we got. That's
Well,
it.
And the truth is like I said earlier, I'm so focused on playing music with other people.
I'll make Gordon sing.
But
Nobody wants to. No, but nobody got no time.
what song is on repeat for you? Let's turn it around to you.
Actually, it's because of him. He does it to me all the time. He starts playing the piano or the guitar, and he plays some song, and then for 3 days, I'm humming in my head, which is Elton John's Story.
Your
What?
song.
Your song, Story. Your song. I that one. I love that one.
You want to know something that's really ridiculous? And this is almost a confession. I was driving home from
Yeah, like-
northern Iowa one time. I don't know how many years ago. But I listened to this one song on repeat for 8 hours.
So it doesn't hit your back.
8 hours I listened to this song
Oh my gosh.
over and over again. It was probably 25, 30, 30 years ago, 25 years ago. Waterfalls, TLC.
Really?
Are you serious?
Just over and over.
Everything about, right. The bass line is one of the most
Oh.
groovy bass lines, and the guitar. I guess Babyface produced it. The production
Kind of
of that
chick
was
like.
incredible. It was incredible. I don't think I've listened to it since, but I know I listened to it for 8 hours.
Wow.
I get obsessive about that stuff. And like when you want to accomplish something, you get focused, right? You guys have done an amazing thing with the magazines, the TV, the radio. You're so focused and creative. I love that. It's the same
We're
energy.
exhausted, Mike.
I know.
I like
You
you
ever
and
feel that
creative and amazing,
exhaustion?
but
I do.
I'm really exhausted. My brain needs to stop.
Building Snooze was a lot of work, right? Building a new business is right. You get contractors, and you get all the arrangements, all the stuff, and the marketing. And I swore that when we open, I was going to take the summer off. So I think I took like a day off.
So we have a minute. I got to know about the new mattress that we need to have, that you come in and it literally tells you, yeah, they literally tells you what kind of mattress, it knows it finds your body.
So that's at Snooze Mattress Company. We use this technology that was developed for NASA and for the Mayo Clinic. And what it does, it's a pressure sensing technology. So it uses 3,000 sensors to do a pressure mapping of your body on your back, your sides. And it tells you not which mattress to buy. It tells you which type of construction is going to give you the deepest, most restorative sleep. And
before, I don't want to get you cut off before, Snooze Mattress is located in Chesterfield, Missouri, brand new Snooze Mattress. To check out this mattress, I didn't want to go off.
Oh, no.
Mike Baue, if he isn't there, his son is there and he can help you. We're going to come in because I want to see what it is, because I know that I'm needing something different. We're going to be right back with Angel Magasano in the 5 o'clock hour. You listen to In Your City Show on luinfo.com, streaming 24/7. Thank you, Mike. I'm
awesome.
I wanted people to know about that. Mike.
One, two.
I want. and we've got a new guest in the studios. I feel a little bit Carson, like the new guest came in and the other guest moves down on the couch, in our case, in a new chair. But first, before we get going and meet our powerhouse guest that we have with us, I've got to tell you a little bit about St. Louis Closet Company. Jennifer Williams, she was just in here. She'll be coming in with us quite often and have some fun on the show with us. You know, there's those places in the house, and we did it, our closet. There's just upstairs in our family room, and we wanted to be able to get organized, right? And so the best thing you can do is call a company like St. Louis Closet Company. Jennifer does everything in-house. I mean, it's incredible. Look at that setup that she has. Her building is beautiful, right off of Big Bend. You can literally go there and see the work being done on what you're having done in your home, whether it's your mud room, maybe it's your garage, maybe it's a pantry in your kitchen. It can be small, it can be large, it can be an entire house. It could be Nelly, who did his studio closet where they tape, and she went in and did the whole room
I
for
want to see
him.
that. I can't wait till she shows it to us.
Oh my gosh. Well, you can see it on Instagram. You can watch the video.
You know, I am
Nelly,
about Instagram. I'm hardly
yeah,
on
you
Instagram.
really got to get with it here, Mr. Tech
Not
Guy.
like Mike. Mike's on everything. You can see Mike
I
everywhere.
try to be relevant. Okay.
Was it commercial? Eat it. Mikey likes everything.
I'm talking about Jennifer right now. Let me get back to her. So the great thing about St. Louis Closet Co. is their floor-based systems that add strength and stability. We talk about that every time we talk about Jennifer's seamless operation, her seamless designs that she builds. And when you go through, whether it's maybe one of those Murphy beds, or that fold down that she can build into a room, office space, whatever it is, Jennifer says go from chaos to calm, and that's exactly what she does. So get your life organized. Jennifer's always there, and if she's not, one of her amazing team members will help her. She is a woman in business for over 30 years. She's the first woman ever to own a custom closet company, which is quite incredible. So I love getting to know her. Anyway, St. Louis Closet Company, you definitely need to check it out. Jennifer Williams. All right, so now we have our next guest in the house, which is Donald. Thank you so much. I'm glad you made. The traffic is ridiculous, isn't it?
It is.
They have
And it's hot.
roads, and it's very hot, and they have roads cut off. So since it's hot, next to you is the Citrus Basil Breeze. It's the cocktail of the evening. Mike is staying with us and having a little fun. Oh yeah, we can't forget to cheers. And you didn't look, so guess what's gonna happen to you? No, it's too late. Cheers.
I'm not worried about it.
You're not worried about it. Apparently, if you don't look into the person's eyes when you cheers, did you look into my eyes, Angel?
I always look into your eyes.
Oh.
Yeah. When you look at eyes, if you don't, you have
Turn into a
7
whole
years
different
bad
show.
practice. Doesn't mean me with you, just in general. So there you go, just some wise 7 years bad luck. Just like breaking a mirror or a glass, same thing. So okay, and you have to drink.
Right. We did that.
We already did.
Should we continue?
So we continue. So Angel, you are the founder and president of LBB, Little Black Book of Women in Business. That's a long title that you came up with. And I say it wrong sometimes too. But I met you, it's been well over 10 years now. You were maybe a year, maybe. How long is Little
13
LBB?
years this fall.
So you were
just
in
a
your
couple
first year,
years, right?
maybe.
Infancy.
And you invited me to like a gathering, with women, and there was probably 25, 30 women there. It was down in Chesterfield Valley. And I went to it, and then that's 12 years ago, possibly. And here you are, 13 years later, hundreds of women, all different chapters, and they really, really feed off of each other and help one another. It's like a sisterhood that you get in when you're part of this LBB. There's
It is.
many different ages, many different businesses. Mike just mentioned you just did an event at, I guess, the Snooze
We
Mattress
did,
store.
yeah.
You all wore
We had the
PJs.
women. What I love about your group, and I know you want to say stuff too. I'm sorry, but I have to tell you, I absolutely love what you've built, and I've gotten to know you over the years. Your story is fabulous.
Thank you.
You are fabulous.
Thank you.
Your leadership team that you've assembled is fabulous. And we had Women of Wellness at Snooze. We had a pajama party. It was wonderful.
That's fabulous.
And talked about the benefits of well-being
Mhm.
and sleep and rest in
And
that
that's what
journey.
we do. There's so many different avenues to LBB. There's so many different, types of women. And that's really, it is about, no matter what you're at or what type of event it is, it really is all about wellness, because the women feel so much better about themselves when they have that camaraderie and that support. And I remember one of the ladies spoke at a meeting. I think she had gotten sick, something had happened, and the outpouring of all the women in the group that were there to support her to get through her that time. It's a lot about building the business, which you'll talk about, helping women build their businesses and succeed. But there's also the camaraderie and the support, because a lot of times when you're in business for yourself and an entrepreneur, you feel very alone.
Well, certainly you feel on an island when you're a solopreneur, and until you have a team of people, and even when you have a team of people, you can still feel like you're on that island because the buck stops with you. So having a community of people that can understand where you are in your journey and really relate to that and offer that piece of support that maybe peers, your sister, your neighbor, people like that, they can't relate to what you're doing as an entrepreneur. So having that piece of community is so important. But it's comes down to the authentic relationships that are being built within the community, and that's what drives that piece of really interpersonal. We've got your back no matter what it is that you're going through, because we do have women that are going through the highest of highs right now. They're booking national conferences, they're being paid big money to fly across the country and pour into others. And we have women that are really experiencing the lowest of lows right now. They're going through nasty divorce. We have some that are battling serious illness. And it takes the community to rise up for all of those people, whether they are in the highest of high or the lowest of low, to support them wherever it is that they are.
It's fabulous. Do you think that you were a dancer, right? You were in high school and then went on to do that in college, correct? Do you think that was a real beginning point, that you knew how important it was for women to come together? Because to do that dance routine, it takes teamwork, it takes getting along well and being a team. Do you think that kind of, I know you went to college and you've done all these wonderful things. Do you think that was a propeller for you to realize how important it was to stick together with women?
I think that what I learned about myself through all of that is that there's a lot of competition, woman to woman. And we all do work better when we're not competing against one another, but we are working together, and that there is room for everyone to have a place at the table when they're working together. And the other thing I learned is that my purpose here on the planet is to be a cheerleader. So through my high school years, through my college years, and now I've learned that even through my professional career, my gift really is being a cheerleader for people, having the ability and the knowledge to see in somebody something they may not see in themselves. And when they're entrepreneurial, finding that piece of what their little piece of genius is and helping them pull that out and build something around that is then prosperous for them. That's kind of what I have built for myself. But it does all go back to that time in my life when I was a cheerleader.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's a really great nugget to take from what you just said, is that we need to be there to support one another. We need to clap for them. We need to celebrate their wins instead of feeling envious or jealous or lost in that. I think that's really important.
That's a real challenge for women, because certainly with the age of social media, there is that sense of, oh gosh, I need to step up my game because so-and-so is out doing A, B, and C. But we all know that social media platforms are just a glorified yearbook, and it doesn't really matter what other people are doing. It matters what we're doing on the insides of our heart and what we're doing with our own sphere of influence.
Right. Never would I take a picture of myself with what I look like in the morning, put that on Facebook.
Well, we do have friends that do that.
We do have friends that one time. How you told me how beautiful he tells you look in the morning, and he says because he knows your potential.
Every day.
Knows my potential. That is so funny when he
That's
said
so
that.
encouraging.
He said, I know your potential.
Oh my gosh, how can you just, because I know your potential, how can you like what you see?
But so as
Who's your
LBD,
cheerleader? I want to ask you this. So you're a cheerleader for everyone else. And so sometimes that can be exhausting, and sometimes it can be a little overwhelming, and sometimes it can be like, okay, I'm a cheerleader for everyone else, but who's my cheerleader? Because I asked a pastor friend of mine, and I asked him, and one day I asked him, I said, so how are you doing? And he goes, you know what? Thanks for asking, because so many times people don't ever ask the pastor how they're doing because they're so busy taking care of everyone else and taking care of the flock, taking care of whoever, but they never ask how they're doing. So, so how is that? I mean, who's your shoes?
I appreciate that question. That's a really good question. And I feel like I'm a very lucky person because I'm pretty discriminatory with who I share my personal bubble with. I keep my personal circle very small, but I have such a strong support circle professionally that I really do get just as much poured into me as I am able to pour into
That's
other
good.
people.
Oh, that's good to know.
And I love to, I know you have something to say.
I do, but I was making sure you were going to say, I'm just
Have you
preparing.
known each other for a while?
I enjoy sometimes pulling myself out of my comfort zone and putting myself in a room that I'm uncomfortable in with somebody who is a step or two ahead of me, because I find many times those people can pour into me too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead of being jealous of somebody that's ahead of me,
No,
they
no.
really can help pull me up.
That's the
Yeah.
fuel. And one of the things I love about you is you're always educating yourself. You're always learning. You're not afraid to challenge yourself. And Gordon, great question. In business, as a pastor, as a businessman, as a musician, there's always somebody ahead, right? But to not think of it like that, not to think of it like I'm behind, but to think of it as, wow, I can become, right? And something in faith that we talk about a lot in ministry is you don't want to just go to church on Sunday and get full and then go through the week and like spend it, right? You want to become a self-feeder, right? And in business, as your group has grown from a small group, you had the vision, but the vision changed. And you had to learn to navigate as you figured it out. One of the things I love about you is you're not afraid to you have to move. You cannot steer a parked car, right? And you're moving, you're on the go. So do you find that you're able to really self-feed in some of those cases where maybe you feel a gap or you're feeling maybe tired or maybe,
Well, I'm a creative person, so I feel I create a lot, and I know
Feed off of that.
Yes, and my team will say, "Well, can we just take a pause? Like we don't need to keep creating."
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
But one of the people that I really look up to as a national role model is Sarah Blakely, who founded the Spanx, and now Sneaks. But when I watched her masterclass, one of the things she said was never stop iterating, never stop creating. So I push myself to it comes to me naturally as a creator and as a creative cat, but I feed off of that creativity. And when that inspiration hits me, man, that's something.
Feels good, doesn't
Does-
it?
does-
Sound like writing a song?
Does failure fuel you?
No, failure disappoints me.
Does it? Okay.
Failure does disappoint me. But I think what I have done a really good job of doing is when something doesn't work, we just pivot away from it.
Right.
And that's the other perk of being an entrepreneur is when you find something doesn't work, you get to make the rules. You can pivot straight away from that.
Sunk cost fallacy is nothing. Let's just move.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's hard too. I mean, it's hard being an entrepreneur when you do fail, and you can pivot, but you are the one who is responsible, and that can be a lot of pressure, but it's also very joyful, as well. So talking about LBB, let's hear about a few of how it works. So it's someone out there that's interested in being part of this incredible women's group. There's different chapters.
Right.
There's different things going on with each. I know you have your big event. So kind of give a little bit overview of what LBB is, and then we can go from there.
Really Little Black Book is a business development organization, and the entry point is that chapter entry location. So we have 14 chapters. We serve women in 14 municipalities across Northeast Missouri and Southern Illinois. So that's the entry point into our membership-driven system. And we provide a lot of self-development workshops and entrepreneurial workshops and connection opportunities. And then when you're ready to move beyond that, then we have more deep dive workshops, business courses, virtual courses, high achieving retreats, things that are for women who are really ready to take their business to the next level.
Because there is so many levels, and it's nice to see, because there's a lot of women that started business. They have no idea how to use social media or how to write a business plan, an exit strategy, anything like that. That's nothing. They just know they want to do something, and you go from the basic and move all the
That's
way
right.
up to the larger level.
That's right. And we want those women who have taken the leap to go into business, not to go out of business. So
Yeah.
let's put you in the right room. Like if you're under $100,000, let's make sure you're being mentored by somebody that's already hit that milestone in business. And if you've hit that first 6 figures, which is the hardest 6 figures to hit, let's put you in a room with somebody that's already hit 7 figures. And how can we keep building that whole network up? Because as women start to grow and they have disposable income, the women who make the money can really start to pour into the things that are important to them in their community, in their church, in politics, whatever it is that is important to them. They have the money to start making some of those decisions.
So one of the things Angel had said to me when I don't know where we were at, I don't know if you were speaking in front of the group or we were just talking, I can't remember, but it resonated. And one of the things she said was, when she started Little Black Book, LBB, she needed to hire someone to help her. And we know that feeling, when you're hiring that first person, it was only $100 a month that she needed to pay this person. And she was absolutely terrified. You newly divorced, I guess, right? Is starting out on your own, kids, young.
Right.
And she's like, how am I going to give up $100? I mean, that's like groceries, or what? It makes my goosebumps, because I can remember being in a place like that. And it's just fabulous to hear that story. It's such a great story. And people need to know that we've been there before. You've been there, where you're afraid to give up a small amount of even $100 a month to take that next step. And you did it.
Yeah.
And then she was with you for 11, how many years?
She's still around.
She's still there, but she stayed with you
she did
full time
retire,
for
yes.
11 years, right? Before she decided to kind of move into another area. But I mean, that's fantastic. And that's what it takes. And you've got to take
that's what really started to build what I consider as a small little empire around me of empowered women.
Yeah.
But I think that is a real key for people who have gone into business, because it is very scary. Every nickel counts.
Oh my
And it
gosh,
is
yes.
very scary to part with that money. But if you're working outside your zone of genius, you are just wasting time, wasting money, wasting energy. You're probably wasting tears in bed. You're not getting any sleep. Spend that $100 and see what happens, because 10 years later, you're going to be a completely different place. Probably 2 years later, you're going to be in a completely different place.
And of course,
But you have
finding
to
the
take-
right person too.
You have to
You've
find
got
the
to,
right people.
yeah.
You
Sometimes
have to find the right
get
people.
a few frogs before you get the.
Joe always says, slow to hire, quick to fire. So you have to really take your time.
So right.
Finding the right person. But if the person's not a good fit,
And
there's no reason to like slowly remove that Band-Aid. Like move on and let's get it's not personal.
Hurts a lot more when you do it slow.
It
Yes,
does.
it does.
hurts
It brings a lot of
more
pain
when you-
before you finally remove it.
Every little hair that comes out
Oh,
with
no.
that Band-Aid when you rip it slow.
Did you?
No,
Well, one of the
because me and
bigger-
Mike had this conversation
eye
not
contact
too long ago, where he finally had to say, I need to step back, let somebody else do the things that I shouldn't be doing, that I can
Yeah.
spend more time doing.
One of the
on more
greatest
important
benefits
things
of
are
having a group like Angels is to have that encouragement, right? To take the next step. And I was being encouraged by my coach for years to hire an assistant and then also to hire a salesperson for my company, OsteoStrong. I refused. Well, my coach fired me, and then he rehired me. He did, because he's like, you're not teachable.
You're not
Telling you what to
listening.
do. I mean, you're fired. So I hired an assistant, and he brought me back. But anyway, just taking the plunge, right? And there's a book I read called Buy Back Your Time.
Yes,
Right,
I'm
so-
reading it right now.
And there's one line in there that was life-changing, and this just illustrates exactly what you're saying. It's so powerful. If you can find somebody to do 80% as good as you, that's 100% awesome. And so I hired a salesperson for OsteoStrong. It took me 2 years of wrestling with this. I hired her, I trained her for 3 weeks, cut her loose. My closing rate was like 92, 93%. Her first week was 82% closing rate.
Sometimes you have to let go, which is very, very hard to let go.
Right.
It's going to be very hard to let go for a second to take a commercial break, but we're going to do that. And then we're going to come back right back and we're going to talk some more. But let's talk a little bit about that too. But letting go is a very difficult thing to do as an entrepreneur. I'm learning it. I'm doing a lot better with it. And it does make a huge difference in your life when you can trust people and bring them in. But you always feel like no one will do what you do. But if you find the right people, truly magic, can happen. So we're hoping some magic's going to continue to happen for us. But we're going to take it to a quick break, and then we're going to come right back. We got Angel Magasano in the house with us, along with Mike Baue. You're listening to the In Your City show right here on luinfo.com. KLIS is the new call letters for the 590 AM. Of course, Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you stream, you can watch us. And we'd love to hear what you have to say. You can find us on In Your City show on Facebook, which it's live right now there as well. And we'll be right back with more fun.
right.
All
we're
right, we're
back.
just back.
We're just back.
What happened to our opener? I got a little confused there. I didn't know. I'm like, and there we are.
And here we
Boom.
are.
We are back with the In Your City show. Thanks for tuning in. And if you waited during the relaxing Zen moment, if you're watching on YouTube, then we're glad that you're here with us. So, the In Your show, I'm Kelly Lamb with Gordon Montgomery. You're listening to us on the luinfo.com or the 590. I can't believe I keep accidentally almost saying the wrong numbers.
What numbers were you going to say?
Well, I said another number for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
They're very close.
The Sunday night show?
Well, there's more than that.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to 590. We're here. And we have Angel Magasano in the room with us, and then along with Mike Baue, too. He's stuck around. It's like a Johnny Carson show. We just move down the guests and having a good time talking with one another. So if you're just tuning in, of course, we have Angel, who is the founder and president of LBB, short for Little Black Book of Women in Business, which is a great organization. And we've been having fun talking about that and just the camaraderie and the education and the knowledge that women are able to receive being a part of your organization that just keeps growing like crazy. So appreciate all you're doing in that way. But
Thank you.
you have a big event that keeps growing every year. And you've chosen to continue growing it, keep going. And it will be again this March, right?
Yes, March of 2026 will be the 5th anniversary of this event.
Now, will it be in a new location or the same location this year?
That
What will
is
it be?
to be determined. As
Okay.
we're scouting some locations. It will be in the greater St. Louis area,
Sure.
and it'll be an easily accessible
Well,
hotel location.
It was at the DoubleTree, and then it went to is that the
the
Renaissance?
Renaissance.
I wouldn't say Renaissance, that's not correct. Renaissance the last couple years,
And
which
we
has been
love that.
lovely.
We love that
It's
property.
been lovely. And you just had the big meeting, kind of going over it and getting ready. And the speakers are incredible that you have, and then the breakout that women can go to and get that smaller, I guess, learning opportunity.
Correct. Yeah. So we have the day structured so that it does toggle back and forth between some keynote presentations that from hearing from women who have really hit the pinnacle of success right here in the greater St. Louis area, and setting the stage to let other people know they did it and you can do it too. And really what we ask of our keynote speakers is to tell us their authentic story. Like, we don't need the rainbow and the fluff. What we need to know is, what were the really hard
Right.
moments and the moments that you didn't think that you were going to be able to go on, and how'd you persevere through it? And then we toggle that with breakout sessions that then turn into masterclass workshops. So we lean into serving women who are in leadership. So we have leadership development and team building sessions, and we have entrepreneurial skill set sessions. So we have a bunch of things that are happening during the day. We also have this beautifully curated woman-owned boutique where people can come and shop for
Yes,
the
thank you. I'm
best.
spending money every time.
I know. And we create that culture. We want people to come to this event and plan to patronize those women-owned businesses and buy their stuff.
Do they have I mean, I don't really, women are the up and coming and we're taking over the world, that's for sure. But you men, are there anything out there for men where you have
Yeah,
those
we do.
opportunities? I know you have your
Coffee
men's-
and conversations on Saturday mornings. But
Yeah.
Absolutely,
see-
we have opportunity to gather and
Yeah.
learn. But I'm thrilled that Angel brought something really groundbreaking to the St. Louis area, because there wasn't something like this before you.
I don't know that there
Thank you.
still is, honestly. I mean, there's groups.
Yeah, no, I think
There's
that there,
special groups.
there isn't anything. Like, we have really
No.
set the stage and the pinnacle to serve the women in this area, not only through being inspired and encouraged and empowered, but really having them leave with tangible skill sets that they were able to acquire and expanding their network, whether they're a corporate leadership or they're entrepreneurial, because there's a lot of value in bringing those two groups together.
True
And
story,
it's
yeah.
anything. It's whether you're a Mary Kay sales rep, Kimberly drives a pink. It's not a. It's
What is
a
she on, like her 7th one?
no,
20.
17. Oh, 20 now. So
She had 20.
That she's
Oh, yeah.
just about to be awarded her 20th.
that's incredible. 20 years that woman has gotten a pink Cadillac or a pink car of her choice. It used to be one style car, but now you can have more of a choice. But there's women that sell, tea, clothing,
We
and then
had- we
on
have
up to
we have
many levels.
restaurateurs,
Yeah.
we have HVAC owners, so we have women who own big blue collar
Attorneys.
industry. We have a lot of professional services like attorneys, estate planners, women who are serving that business.
Do you also work with women who aren't necessarily entrepreneurial, but who are employed? Do you have a robust group of women who just are supporting businesses?
Because you still learn.
We have a 9 to 5. We have some 9 to 5 sessions, which do cater to women that fall into that category.
Right.
And being in a corporate burnout myself and understanding what it meant to climb that corporate ladder, I know that also can feel like an island.
Yeah,
you can also be
true.
promoted to a place where you don't know, you haven't had any leadership development. You don't know how to lead other people. You don't know how to delegate properly. So all of those skills that are taught in an entrepreneurial space are so relevant to somebody that is up and coming in the corporate world as well.
That's
What
important.
is one of your most proudest moments in doing what you do? There's been 13 years, lots of things going on. What's something that really helps to inspire you to keep doing? Because even as an entrepreneur, we can get burnt out as well. And sometimes you have to be reminded of things that have happened along the way to continue.
Yeah, I keep a proof folder because, like many women, I have a real bug in my ear that will tell me, why are you doing this? You know, what you're doing isn't valuable. So I do have a proof folder of things that people send me of their accomplishments along the way, which fuels me tremendously. But I think my biggest contribution in terms of what I could say is a real give back is that beyond all of the business building, that community building space of giving back and pouring into putting our finger on the pulse of what the nonprofits and what the community is needing in our area and being able to fill those needs. And in 2024, we surpassed $1 million in give back and in support of over 250 nonprofit organizations in the greater St. Louis area. So beyond all of the women's empowerment and the business and the entrepreneurial training that pour back into the community that says, we are the women that make this town run and we're here to make a difference too. I think that really is my
You've
proudest
also done
moment.
scholarships for new startups.
Yes. So we provide, our foundation provides not only grants, not alone, a grant to fuel new startups, as well as scholarships for high school kids that are moving on into the business
But even
world.
adults, Miranda Malone, wasn't she one of your recipients?
She was.
She already owns a business, but she needed some help in her growth in that.
She was one of our first grant recipients too. She identified what the money could do in terms of tangible growth for her business, and we were able to fill that need for her.
That's fabulous. I'm getting a spam call right now. How many of you get spam calls all day long? What the heck is going on?
My recent calls, it says blocked, 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 blocked.
Oh my gosh. And then you
Crazy.
block and the same voice calls you on another number just a few minutes later. We got to figure out how to stop that.
Well, that would be the $1 million business, wouldn't it?
Yes. So Mike has written a book. Of course, I have a children's book. I'm working on my anthology right now. Gordon, we're going to need to get you to write a book.
To write a book?
Yes. What would your story be about?
Wow. It's caught me off guard here.
One of your stories.
I guess my book would be What's Keeping You from Writing a Book. That would be the title of my book.
Page one.
Boy, I'm
Right. Right. I'm
From
tired.
writing a book. So let me get out of this. So I want to know what's on the future for LBB. So
Well, that was leading into my question.
Oh, okay.
So I was just asking that writing a book because she is part of a huge publication.
Yeah, well, so as part of,
Kelly keeps me too busy to write a book.
well, you've got a to-do list and you're very good at it.
Yeah.
But you're helping me to.
But you know what it would
together.
be? It would be how to tell your wife she's beautiful in 100 ways or more every morning.
Wow.
That would be my book.
How many people would buy that book?
Gosh, write it.
Right. And that, like,
Start writing it right
can you do it
now.
in 10 minutes? I need some material for going home.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your publishing company because I probably, Gordon even said, oh my gosh, you've got to get, put it in your, keep it handy because I'm constantly asked. I have somebody I have to return a call to and I'm giving her Shelly's phone number.
Yes.
Because I wrote to her, I said, I know someone that can take you through every step.
We've got this, yeah.
Because people want to write their story or write about something. And there is a process to it. And it's not just that simple. And you've now started that where people can write a book.
That's right. Well, it started. So the publishing company is an offshoot of Little Black Book, and it's Little Black Book Publishing. And it started really as just another wraparound service for women who want to be published to further their career, right? So a lot of women want to have that publishing credit, especially if they are speakers or if they're business consultants, they're coaches. They want to have that credit too. And it is a lot. It is a lot to try to navigate self-publishing. So we implemented a hybrid publishing company, which essentially is a project manager. We are a project management company that can help get your story to print. So when it comes to all of the legal, we take care of everything with the Library of Congress and the ISBNs and all of the behind the scenes filing with Amazon and the other booksellers. But when it comes to royalties, we're out of it. So all of the royalties and intellectual property is retained by the author. We serve as a project management company, and that is what the hybrid piece of the publishing company.
That's the thing that intimidates people. You know, it's one thing, everybody has a story, and I believe that everybody has an ability to share their story. But those are the things, those are the mechanics that discourage people from moving
It's
forward.
intimidating. The marketing plan, the book launch, making sure you hit that. Can you hit that bestseller list? It's a lot. And so we've got it on lockdown, and we understand what it is, what it takes to get your project from conception to publication and then beyond.
Yeah,
And you
absolutely.
said something really important. If you're a speaker, if you're a professional, if you're a business coach, if you're in that realm, you have to have a book.
It really
Or you
does.
really should.
You really should.
You really should.
It is a piece of credibility that is, if you're looking for if you've got aspirations to grab that high dollar client, you have to have this piece of marketing at your back. Otherwise, you just are not going to qualify that you
Right.
can pitch that high dollar
Yeah,
client.
you need to have that
piece of
number
you
one
as
best
well.
selling.
When you're up there and you're
Yes.
speaking, it's an opportunity. People are they're completely taken by if you're a good speaker, of course, and you're doing well, they want a piece of you to take home. And having a book, having something tangible that they can take home to remember those nuggets, those words, that's really important. I mean, it's a great idea to do it. Sometimes you just want to tell your story.
People want to peek behind the curtain. They kind of want to see, who is this person that's talking to me? Who is this person who's standing on the stage and, telling me their story of this and that I get to listen to for 30 minutes? Who is this person really? And so that's really an opportunity for an individual to share of themselves really authentically.
So if someone's interested in writing a story, telling their book, or putting a marketing piece together for their speaking platform, what would they need to do?
We absolutely want to talk to them. They can either send us an email at publishing@womenoflbb.com, or they can get some more general information on our website, which is littleblackbookpublishing.com.
Okay, so that makes it pretty simple. Gosh, so what else should we know that's going on with LBB? Is there anything we've talked about? You have your publishing. If you want to join one of the chapters, again, they can get a hold of you. They can find LBB on Facebook and be able to get a hold of you as well. But is that anything that we've left out that's so important?
I think that really is, my team would say, let's stop. My team would say, let's stop this conversation.
Let's stop this conversation.
What we are aspiring to do and what we're putting into motion for 26 and 27 is expanding beyond this local region. So we're making some really great connections in Indianapolis and in Denver and in Dallas and in Kansas City.
So it's time to move to other cities. Then is what
we've created here is very special, and it's super impactful for women who really lean into everything that it has to offer. So why should we keep that to ourselves?
That's true.
You envision seeing yourselves like selling out Madison Square Garden?
No,
like
I don't see that, but I would like to see myself in the third hour of the Today Show. There with those.
I like that.
Go with me?
I will definitely go with you. I turn that. That's my
City.
little show I turn on in the morning to see what's happening in the world. It's a kind of a sugary coat.
So I have a question for all you entrepreneurs. So it used to be that people wanted to be on the radio or people wanted to be on TV. And now we have social media where everybody's got a podcast, everybody's got a book, everybody's got this, everybody's got that. What do you see in the
Influencer.
future that's going to isolate people a little bit more to where they don't? Not everybody has that.
Ugh.
Do you see anything in the future? Do you see anything that can isolate a little bit?
I really see in the future, and it's my hope maybe that I'm projecting, that really personal customer service piece
We'll come
comes
back.
into
my
the
gosh.
forefront of what's happening between business and consumer. Because I think what's happening online has a place and it's not going to go away.
No.
But I think that the big winners are going to be the people who can back up their product or their persona with real customer service.
We have lost
so
that
true.
human
Boy.
touch,
Mm.
that communication. Everybody wants more and more. They want more money, but they don't really want to work for it. They want to just be online and see if they can,
Right.
influence or whatever. It's just like a lost gift. Chick-fil-A, they haven't lost it.
No.
It's like my pleasure. I mean, they are there to serve you.
I agree with you 100%. I think authenticity will never go out of style, right? You being real, there's a level of decorum you should have in your business, but it has to be based on a foundation of being your authentic self, because people are smart. And one of the greatest books, I recently finished it. It's called Unreasonable Hospitality. Have you read it?
I
No.
have. It's been years, but I have read
It's
it. Yep.
one of the greatest books, and it speaks to that. So what a great question. And authenticity, I think, is the key.
I agree.
It's just finding that people have a very, very difficult time finding that, because we've put ourselves in these fake worlds that are around us, and we really don't sometimes bring out the authenticity in ourselves. People they're losing that. We
Yeah.
need to
I
bring
think people
that
crave
back.
that, and I
Yeah, they
think if you
do.
have authenticity as your personal brand, I think that you'll attract the people in your life that
Sure.
you want in
I
your
think
life.
that's a piece of leadership development. If you don't know who you are on the inside of you, then how can you lead others, even if it's through influencing on the internet,
Right.
right? You have to understand who you are as a person and in order to be a good leader. And that includes being an influencer or having a social media
And there's
following.
no job that's too small. And there's something for everyone's
Put
skill
your heart
set.
into it.
Exactly.
Learn from it.
Yeah. You don't have to feel that you have to be this or that to be somebody. Just be good at what you are and be authentic,
That's right.
doing that. So our question of the day is, what is your all-time favorite song that brings back memories? And Angel put American Boy by Estelle.
Have you ever heard it?
I'm sure maybe I have, but I
No.
can't hear it. So are you going to
How
sing it?
new is it?
Oh,
Is anything in the last couple years? I haven't listened.
No.
It's probably
Get off my lawn.
I would say
No,
it's
it's-
probably between 2000 and 2010. So from the early
Oh, okay.
2000s.
So, which isn't that funny to think that
Well, I
the
should
early
know it 'cause I was
2000s is
illegal
in
20
20 years ago.
20 years
Yeah,
ago. I
it
mean,
was.
it's crazy
It
when,
was.
when you say that, isn't it? How long ago that truly was.
It truly was. But
Oh, yeah.
it does immediately when I read that question, it popped a visual into my mind. And, it was with my daughter, who was 8 at the time, and we had taken the train to Chicago for a girls' weekend, and we were shopping in the fun shops on the Miracle Mile, and that was the song that was playing, so it kind of burned into my senses. And we met Joe Manganiello in the Zara store, and it was just one of those moments that she and I always remember, because her comment to him at 8 was, "Wow, you're tall." And yeah, so she and I went to Chicago for the St. Patrick's Day river dyeing
Oh,
this
that's
past
cool,
year.
yeah.
One of the first songs we heard was that American Boy by Estelle. And we're like,
Isn't
here
it
we
beautiful
are,
how
almost
music
20
brings those
years
memories
later.
back?
Music is
The
magical.
sights, the smells, the sounds. You listen to a song, music is such a great uniter.
It really is. And in a second, like I was going to say, I can name that song in one note, because it is a unifier.
I want to go back to a question of the day that we had maybe 4 or 5 days ago, because both of you wear many hats and do so many things. So out of all those hats that you wear, what is your superpower?
Oh, that's great.
My superpower is shutting down. My superpower is turning off. When it is time for me to turn off and having that boundary, especially when it comes to my family time or my Joe time. Joe time is Joe time. Family time is family time. And I'm not in the business of delivering babies. I'm in the business of women's empowerment. So my superpower is
That's amazing.
being
It almost makes me
100%
feel
present.
a little welling up on the inside
Just
when
the
she
shut
says
down.
it.
I know
Yeah,
she has a hard time
I
shutting
feel like
down.
I'm that almost makes
I
me
always
feel
have
like
to
I'm
go,
gonna cry.
As
Like,
a high
work is
achieving
over,
woman, it is
you know?
hard. I put a post out last week and I said,
did shut
these
down
are the it was a picture of my cat on this post. And I said, these
You
are the
did.
areas where I was 100% present this past week. I played putt-putt with my kids. I did this, I did that, I did the other things. I didn't document it. I wasn't there to like
show it off or to,
presence is greater than proof.
well,
And so being present is so important to me.
he actually told me, he said, you're not working. We were actually supposed to go somewhere this weekend. Gordon and I, we rarely ever say no to anything. We kind of like you show up. We're showing up. And we were absolutely mentally and physically exhausted. And we wanted to be where we were supposed
With
to
some
go
friends of ours,
with
yeah.
some friends, but it was like I was shaking. I was so exhausted. My body was like shaking. And he said, we need to stay home. We need to stay home. I didn't get on any social media. I didn't even check my emails, which was terrifying because when I did finally on Monday, it was pages. It was endless and I'm still catching up. But we did shut down. We literally didn't leave the house on Saturday. I didn't touch any social media or emails. I've never done that before. There was tons of work to catch up and I almost thought I was going to cry and get sick to my stomach on Monday by doing it. But that is something that's very, very difficult for me to do. And hearing you say that, I would think that's almost has to be like a practice skill that you'd have to do, almost like people who meditate.
Those emails aren't going anywhere.
That's right.
I
That
know.
work's not going anywhere.
It really
It's
is
still
a
gonna be there when you
mindset.
take
It really
the
is
time
not
out.
going
over.
anywhere.
I
Yeah.
know. Well, speaking of that, it is hot out, and there are a few little. Do you have them? A few little fun. We want to make sure before I leave. First, I've got to give my word for the day. I always forget,
Also
and I
need
love
to,
these words of the day. It's. Have you ever heard of the word ephemeral?
It sounds like a drug.
I know.
I have heard of it, but I don't remember what it means.
So it's something lasting for a very short time, fleeting or momentarily. Ephemeral. A summer sunsets are ephemeral.
Okay.
Gone in a flash, but unforgettable. So it's like taking a word like that and just being able
Just
to use
doesn't
it
flow for
somewhere.
me.
Ephemeral.
It doesn't-
Ephemeral.
It sounds like
This is a ephemeral right now. It's
just
just
like I need to be taking. It's a drug I need to
it
take.
does. It does. And I
To
could
get rid
maybe
of a
not be
headache or
saying it with
something.
the best
Can I
thing.
have Adderall?
Hey, do you have the new blues? Do you have it loaded up to show the new uniform?
Yeah.
So we can be the first to see it. This has just come out
Well, it's
today.
a little bit of a. It's just going to be like a quick thing. Here we go.
So
In St. Louis, we don't do anything nice and easy. So if past is prelude, consider this the remix. Today's Tom Sawyer isn't painting fences, he's painting the boards. We're respecting the classics, but changing the game. We're respecting the past, but trumpeting our future. We're holding the note, but playing it louder. Because what goes around, comes around. The same rock, new roll. Same river, new flow. Same blood, new sweaters. Same blues, new note. Same as it never was. Where classic meets new heritage. Forever classic. Because if past is prelude, consider this the remix. Remixed, remastered, reborn.
the video, but you can
The
go
St.
on to
Louis
luinfo.com and see the gorgeous new jerseys for the St. Louis
Beautiful.
Blues. So
Fantastic.
be fun, boy. They did incredible this year. They didn't take it as far as we wanted, but they did incredible. We love seeing Coach Berube up there, almost ready to take it too. That was exciting. So, but
Yeah,
unfortunately, the
Maple Leafs.
Panthers took it away. But what do you love to do when it's hot outside?
Be
What's one of your
inside.
favorite?
Inside. This is
So
crazy.
you
not
might
out.
enjoy catching a movie at a retro theater, then cool down at High Point Theater. Or have you ever been to the Alamo Draft House?
No.
Me neither. I have
Tell me
never
more.
been there. Now the drive-in at Skyview, you're gonna have to leave your car running. So I don't know.
Right.
We did that one night and took
Well,
the
it's hot,
grandkids
yeah.
and did the drive-in. We hadn't been there
Have
since
you been
very
to the High
young.
Point?
Yes, I've been.
Have you been to High Point? Okay, great.
Very,
Yeah.
very cool
It's
theater and that,
nostalgic.
but I have not been to the Alamo Draft House. What do you like to do on hot summer days while you're playing, I'm sure?
It's hot up there too.
Oh,
But,
it's not air
uh,
conditioning?
We just put a pool in this year, so we're
Oh,
we're
I
enjoying
did see
that.
that
I saw that.
picture. We saw that. It's like a pond
Yeah,
in your
I think
big.
my wife worked me. She
She-
said, my daughter says, we need a pool. My wife says, your dad will never let you have a pool. The next day I bought a pool.
Oh, you showed them, didn't you?
So I did. By gosh,
See, she did. You didn't know that, but she got you. She did psychological treatment on you. He'll never get one, and he showed them.
So we I like that. But just being with the family. I'm working at the end of the day, going home and being with the family, right? We have a couple of dogs, we have a cat, we have our oldest boys have girlfriends. They come around. It's
So
just
fun. Having
Yeah.
grown-up
wonderful.
children, isn't it?
Our house is constant
I love
activity,
that.
and it's beautiful.
Having them come in and out, and they're all grown up and
Enjoy
watching.
that
We
while
love
it's
that time.
happening.
Birthday
Yeah.
to your daughter.
Oh, I know. Happy birthday to Carly. She's 28 today. We had lunch today and got to spend a little time, and she's with her sister and the our grandkids right now having fun. Have you ever been to the splash pads or interactive fountains, St. Louis Union Station, Kirkwood Park Splash, or the Newtown Central Plaza Fountain? What? Can't play in that fountain.
No, you can't.
Liars.
No. Chance fell in the fountain.
Yes,
but
he
no,
did.
Kylan
Kylan did.
Kylan fell
But
in the
you can go out kayaking and paddleboarding, which is really fun, at Newtown and Creve Coeur Park. Have you ever gone out there and enjoyed the water?
Oh, absolutely. And Joe and I love to play like children, so we do all of those things.
Gorgeous fun to walk around
Yeah,
the lake
really
and that.
fun.
Gordon, you probably would enjoy going for ice cream or gelato.
No, every time.
He never
Absolutely.
says no to an ice cream. Of course, Clementine's tomorrow will be coming in. Tomorrow, it'd be funny if she was coming in tomorrow. Tomorrow will be coming in
Tomorrow will be
tomorrow.
coming in tomorrow.
You've got Ice's Plain and Fancy. I haven't been there, but we've definitely been to Silky's a
The
lot.
what?
Icy's
Oh, yes.
Plain and Fancy. Never been there. Either of you?
No,
Um,
at Clementine's, I have been numerous.
Yes, and she has so many locations now to be able to get to it. And Silky's, we've went through there many times. We just had Meridian.
Le Meridian.
La Meridian on the show, and you can go and do a
A
$20
day pass, a
Yeah.
pool day pass.
Go hang out at the
Hotel.
pool at the hotel. That's kind of fun. Anything different you've done like that here in St. Louis to share?
Like, go to Mike.
Have
'Cause
you?
we usually go out of town.
Yes.
When our kids were younger, we did all of the splash pads, we did all of the parks, we
Oh,
did
yeah.
all of the things and the pools. Now the kids are older, so really it's about like you. It's being when it's hot out, we want
when
to
it-
be inside and be
Mhm.
together.
Be with the family. How about Speakeasy? We all, I know you went to the social hour at the
did.
Speakeasy,
Love it.
which is in Cottleville, underneath Oak Street Inn, which is such a cool. Have you been there yet, Mike?
Absolutely.
Isn't it
yeah.
awesome?
It's fabulous.
Some other speakeasies, Thaxton
Been to the-
Speakeasy,
been to the Thaxton, Planters
House,
Haven't been there.
and Basso at the Cheshire.
Yes,
We have
we
been there.
just went to Basso.
Very cool.
gorgeous.
Gosh, isn't it awesome?
Yes.
Very nice. Would you go to Westport Plaza or the one at Cheshire?
We didn't go, well, I've been to the one at Cheshire, but we just went to the brand new one at Westport.
Westport's fantastic. Now, not really a speakeasy there, but the one you go downstairs,
Yes,
at the Cheshire.
It's
Well,
beautiful too.
We are running out of town. Angel Magasano, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thanks
Check
for the
out
invitation.
LBB, Little Black Book of Women in Business. Mike Baue, the owner of Snooze Mattress, located in Chesterfield, along with his Osteo Strong and O'Fallon. Thank you for coming in for Gordon's Soul Strings, one of his
Love you, bro.
favorite
Likewise,
segments there,
Richard.
and then being able to talk with us and stay and have some fun. We really appreciate it. Our show, of course, all the time, anywhere you stream, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, you can watch us, luinfo.com, of course, in your city show. You can also check us out. Please
Good job.
subscribe to the pages. We would love that. And we are on luinfo.com on demand 24/7. So until tomorrow, we want to say to you, can we all give a big cheers?
You bet.
Cheers.
We wish you all success in life.
Cheers.
Cheers.